welcome to the channel. I am Chris Rocket, and we're gonna do a AFC North training camp battle position. These are position battles that I'm looking at, players that I'm interested in covering, and looking forward to watching. And we're gonna start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The position I want to look for, and the player that I want to look for offensively, wide receiver James Washington, the rookie out of Oklahoma State. Of course, the first two spots are sold up with AB and Juju Smith-Schuster, but I'm interested to see James Washington, who I called Anquan Bolden 2.0, because he's like 6'1", 210, 215 pounds. Physical receiver. He should be a great replacement for Martavis Bryant. It's interesting to see how he does. Defensively, we got the one half of the Edmonds brothers, the safety Terrell Edmonds. This is a guy who I rated high. Rated him at 86.75, a pretty good grade coming out of college, man. They got him listed playing behind Morgan Burnett, excuse me. So this kid is gonna be special, and he's learning behind one of the good ones out there. Moving on to Cincinnati, I'm interested to see what John Ross does this year. He only had 12 yards last year, not receiving. That was 12 yards just from rushing. So, I know he wasn't healthy the whole season, but when you run a 3.7 in the 40, of course, I'm embellishing the fact that the dude is fast. You got to show us something, man. John Ross, you got to show me something. And if you guys are watching my Cleveland Browns rebuild, I asked that same question. But in real life, John Ross, he really just have to show that, he's worth that first round pick out of Washington. And of course, I'm rooting for him because I like him personally as a player. They drafted very well. So Billy Price, a very good offensive line pick. Of course, they lost a few pieces on that offensive line. Some to Cleveland, some to other places, but Billy Price is a real good addition at the center position. Of course, center is a very, vital position on the offensive line other than left tackle. So be on the lookout for him. And wide receiver Arden Tate out of Florida State, big dude. Be on the lookout for him. I don't know, he probably won't start, but this is a guy I'm interested in watching. And defensively, of course, you got to look at Malik Jefferson. This is a guy that fell down in the draft for reasons I don't know. But I'm from Texas, so maybe I'm biased or whatever. But I'm very interested in seeing my guy Malik Jefferson on a very good, talented defensive squad. Moving on to Baltimore, you already know quarterback Lamar Jackson. Really just a countdown on when he gets on the field. Of course, they are going to use him almost similarly like Pittsburgh did Cordell Stewart. Kind of sneak him in at wide receiver, different kind of packages, read option or what have you. But that's going to be interesting to see how they use them. Wide receiver, they got like 13 wide receivers. Not just 13 wide receivers, 13 good wide receivers. You got Crabtree, you got John Brown, you got Willie Snead. Who comes out and who goes where. Very interesting to find that out. Tight end, they got Nick Boyle listed as number 1. But you have 3 great ones right behind him. You got the rookies, Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews out of Oklahoma. And also Max Williams. Let's not forget about Max Williams, man. He was a good tight end coming out of Minnesota. But he got had a knee injury that had him miss the whole season. So tight end position is definitely looking at. Also rookies I'm going to be looking at is Orlando Brown at tackle. Very, very good tackle in my opinion. He was one of the highest rated rookies that I graded this past draft. Also Bradley Bozeman at center. And the wide receiver that I'm going to be taking a look at is wide receiver Jordan Lashley out of UCLA. A very talented guy. I had him graded at a 87, which is pretty damn good. And defensively, this is a team that, a lot of people, they fell asleep on, including myself. Very talented pass defensive group. And then you add a guy like Deshaun Elliott out of Texas. Like I said, I might be biased, but this was a guy that I graded at 87.25, one of the highest safety grades of everybody. Keep in mind, as I scroll to see what did I grade Derwin James and Minkah Fitzpatrick? Derwin James, I graded at 87. Minka Fitzpatrick at 88. So Deshaun Elliott, 87.25, the second highest rated safety that I've graded, and he fell to the Baltimore Ravens, and he should be doing good work, but he's behind Tony Jefferson and Eric Weddle. Real good defensive safety duo, but they got a good one over there. All right, moving on to Cleveland, who had another team with, good. They have to, you go 0-16. What else are you going to do? So obviously quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield. You can imagine they're probably going to go with the veteran first and then the rookie, or the other way around. You got good-ass insurance. Either way it goes, man. So it's going to be interesting to look at that quarterback battle. Running back, they just improved just tremendously with Carlos Hyde, first of all. And then you get Nick Chubb, great value. And then, Duke Johnson still doing this thing. These are, last year, him and Crowell, man, one of the only running backs that I can think of at the top of my head, I think other than Bilal Powell. 400 yards rushing, 400 yards receiving. That's just damn good production, man. And then, they drafted very well in the offensive line. You got Austin Corbett. You got to be on the lookout for him. They don't have him starting just yet, but this is a guy that, you got to keep a lookout for. They got him behind Kevin Zeitler, or Zeitler, however you pronounce it. And also defensively, you got to look at the rookie Denzel Ward. The Browns haven't really had good, success in drafting cornerbacks, go all the way to Joe Hayden. So they feel real good about this guy, man. I feel real good as well, though. But hey, those are the camp predictions and position battles that I'm looking forward to. That is the AFC North report.